This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Before I get started on today's Rantcast, I just wanted to let you know about where I'll be performing in the next few weeks because that's what I got to do in this age of social media. And that's what we'll be talking about, I think, today. On February 16th, I'm going to be at Grand Rapids, Michigan at the 20 Monroe, followed by February 17th in Detroit, Be Still My Heart. I can't wait to get back there. And I will be performing at the Motor City Casino. And they don't have to worry because I won recently at the last casino, so I won't be making any money there, I'm sure. But it'll be Detroit, and that will certainly be enough to fill my heart. Followed by February 18th, the Genesee Theater, the really beautiful Genesee Theater in Waukegan, Illinois. February 23rd, I'm at the Factory, which is just outside of St. Louis in what they said here is Chesterfield, Missouri, I guess. And then followed by the 24th in Springfield, Missouri, a town that I would like to put, well, I'll talk about that some other time, at the Gilios Theater, and followed by February 25th at the Steelhouse in Omaha, Nebraska. And it's been a long time since I've been there. And I'm looking forward to all of these shows, but we've got things to do. We've got people to see. We've got places to go. It is time for the 161st edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled "You're Not a Doctor." And I could go on with a string of profanities that would go for days on end. It is great to be back here with you. I'm sorry I've been remiss in getting out the Rantcast. You're Not a Doctor has to do with part of the reason I could not get out there because I saw doctors. And I was having, it seems as soon as I get off the road in December and finish up my stuff, and then we go right into Christmas, and then all of a sudden people were dropping like flies around me. And, nobody with anything really horrible, but, colds that went on and on and on. And coughs that went on and on and on. I mean, you know the whole story. Everybody knows the story. It's like, and if you don't know it, they're going to tell you in your newspaper. But here in New York, so I've just got to say that I was rocked. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what happened and the difficulty. I started with a cold, became a flu, and then became a sinus infection, which just really came close to wiping out my voice. And that was the reason that you did not hear from me in terms of these rantcasts. I really had to save my voice for the shows that I was doing. I want to thank all the folks who've been coming out to see me because their energy is really what got me through those shows. And I'm quite serious about that. And I'm back to speed. I am here with you again. I've been reading the rants, and I am very excited by them. And I would like to point out, before I really start ranting and raving here, that it is that I will be doing, hopefully with each show, I will read one of the rants toward the end of the show that one of you have written. And I look forward to that and getting it out there because I've lost I believe part of the energy of doing this Rantcast is just being in front of that live audience. And I'm sorry I can't, create a longer show. In order for the second show to work, I can do the first show, but in order for that second show to work, I need to maintain actually a higher level of energy because it's going out through the computer, and I really need to hit it harder. And because you're writing rants, I want to nail those rants. So that's the reason we've dropped back from it. But I will be trying each night. If when I find, I will be bringing out one of your rants and reading them, and I look forward to that. And at the end of the week, hopefully, it will turn up on that week's Rantcast. Unbelievable. I don't know how these noises come out of my mouth from time to time, but it's appalling. So I was sick. And so I thought during the show one night, I would kind of throw out a little something about being sick because I thought there were two jokes there. I'd done jokes about it's going around. Everybody's getting it. What is it? The doctor doesn't know. You're sitting there. You've been going through it for weeks. What have I got, doc? Well, I don't know if it's going around. And the joke to me was is that it's that they don't know what it is and they don't provide you with anything. You go in there, it's like you give them, whatever the hell your copay is, anywhere from $25 to $125 to see the doctor. Who knows how much else? And then they go, well, we don't really know what's going around, and then they have no, is there anything I can take for it? No, there's nothing you can fucking take for it because it's going around. We don't really know what it is. It's ridiculous. And I wanted to just talk about that. And I wanted to explain to the audience, which at that point I was toward the end of my act, I wanted to thank them for being patient with the fact that I wasn't at full voice, as if I'm an opera singer, but I wasn't at full voice. And I felt that the audience deserved the explanation. And then I had that little joke about the it's going around, and the fact that every third person I know had been sick for 6 or 8, 10 weeks with a cold or with this or with that. And what was really irritating is I was taking these shots. You're taking those shots, you son of a bitch. So that's what I thought, once I got it out there, if there was a response. Because we sent it online, to all of those fabulous places, including X, Twitter, R, bar, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. It's ludicrous and gets crazier by the day, and it has always irritated me. And I've always found it a place really that is like high school on steroids. Okay, I will repeat the joke. It's still one of my favorites. The real world is just like high school, only there are more places to eat and more more asses to kiss. And boy, isn't it exciting that Travis and Taylor, they're having sex. That crap. So I wanted to just kind of was making fun in part of what goes on in terms of doctors and stuff like that, but also what was going on with me, and to kind of share it with people. And I expected there to be a response to the fact that I had, an RSV shot. I had that vaccine. I had the flu shot, which I always get because I have to. Inevitably, I'm shaking 100 hands. Okay, and I ended up with the flu anyway. Well, I said to the doctor, "What'll happen if I got the flu? But this is bullshit. I had the shot. Well, if you hadn't got the shot, it'd be much worse." And he's probably right because I was able to continue to go. I didn't know it was the flu. I thought it was a cold. So I thought I'd be getting all sorts of stuff about that. And I even took the shot for pneumonia because I've had it twice. And I'm hoping it helps cover me because you don't want it. And I've been hospitalized for it. You don't want that, okay? We all got our illnesses to bear, and that seems to be the one that I get. And I'd like to just, so I get, when I send this out, when this ends up going out about me, and then in the meantime, but as it comes out, there's somebody who decides they're going to put a picture of me with my, which I sent out way early on, me getting the COVID vaccination. You got a COVID vaccination, you piece of shit. How many times did you do this? You've done it 4 times. God damn it, what's the matter with you? So somebody sent that out, and it was just, that became a part of this whole story. And it was like, whose fucking business? I'm just doing this. I'm telling you this, okay? You take it completely out of its context, all right? You have no clue as to why I'm saying this, apparently, or that whatever I'm saying irritates you. Why would it irritate you? I'm telling you I'm sick. And then every third person seemed to have a stethoscope writing into X, Y, Z, Twitter, party, whatever it is. I get this out there. I expect a kind of a backlash about the the shots I took. I expect all of that. I expected, but what I didn't expect is that those who were kind of woke, those who seem to agree with me in part about getting the vaccine. There just seemed to be this kind of insanity of you get something out on Twitter or X or whatever you want to fucking call it, and people do not read. They do not either read what is there. They decide they've made their decision. You're there as a target for them to be able to get whatever it is off their chest that's pissing them. I mean, this is no revelation, but to see it in terms of a stupid thing that I had already done years ago and kind of was repeating again, it's because I thought it was apropos, and instead I get this backlash. You got COVID. The people did not hear. I never mentioned it. I may have said something about the fact that I had a shot, that I'd had the vaccinations, and that was like, well, that's why you got it. You got to get, that's what brought you down. That's what undermines your system. That's what's the reason. No, it isn't. Okay. And then it's like, you can't sit there, and I'm not going to write it back. I'm not going to sit there. I'll tell you, the folks who actually kind of give a shit and pay attention, but I'm not going to. This ludicrous. I was stunned. You have COVID. You have COVID. You have, what is it in one here? A comedian, Lewis Black, suffering from the extremely common COVID acquired immune deficiency syndrome as COVID infects the immune system and depletes like HIV. Okay? I don't have COVID. I didn't have COVID. If anybody, I'm the king of neurosis about COVID. I did a whole goddamn really literally back-to-back specials about COVID and my neurotic fucking reaction to it. So it was literally by reading these things, which I shouldn't be doing, okay, at all. All right. I mean, every one of my friends has told me not to read it. I read it though because I'm an idiot. Well, you sent it in, and then part of me wants to read it to I think, pretty much, which is what I came close to doing, is he said that if I do it enough, I'll stop being on Twitter, okay? Because it's, I don't know what I'm really doing reading these things other than to rattle my own cage. And they certainly did this time, as they call it, triggering. I felt like I literally, it put me back to when I was in my apartment by myself, 12 weeks of solitary confinement, and every 10 minutes thinking, I was 2 seconds away from COVID, and then every one of these assholes tells me I have COVID, and I mean, it's why, what I have told you, what I have. All right, guys, I'm supposed to explain this to you. If from all of the things that I was doing, you don't even want me, and they've got up the thing. Okay, I took the fucking shot. Well, you are COVID. I haven't. So far, lucky. Knocking on wood, all right? It really was blistering, and it was a lot of them, just a lot. And from people who I look at their what do you call it? Whatever you call your Twitter page, looked at their Twitter handles and see what other things they said. Not anything I'd expect. What gives people the balls, serious balls, to tell you, to diagnose what you have through a bit you're doing on a comedy show that you're obviously doing for laughs? I don't know what's the matter with me. Why I kind of allow this. I guess it must be like what the kids used to do called, and hopefully they don't do it anymore, cutting. So I read these things like, in order to just kind of like really get to myself. And it drove me fucking nuts. And I just wanted to, and you shouldn't read it. Kathleen has told me not to read it. I do everything I can, but it's, and then somebody else wrote something about a bit that I did, which was, I thought they were upset about, they said I was bigoted, opinionated. Okay. They walked out with what I love is they walk out, and this happens a lot with about 10 minutes to go in the show. And it was it was really literally about something that it's so appalling. I won't even go into it. Okay. So I've been trying to figure out what it was that drove this person out of the room. I can't think of it, of course. And I will 2 weeks from now in the middle of another Rantcast. And maybe I'll tell you then. I'm going to try to think of it and maybe squeeze it in here at some point due to the miracle of editing. And just going to wrap things up because I think you've heard enough of my nonsense. And it was really, I think it needed a little more, quotes and stuff. But I can't. I can only go back so far without enraging my machine here, and so I'm going to just read you a couple of things. So I got this thing on the in the rants that were sent in, just a short piece of information, and I thought, wow, is this really real? Well, it is real. It turns out. I asked people to write in to tell me if they could confirm it because it seems psychotic. Well, no, it's not. A Florida school district, hello, has removed dictionaries. Dictionaries. You almost have to repeat it. Did you hear it? They removed dictionaries because it had the word dick in it, which it might as well be the reason because they removed it from its library shelves to comply with a state law that restricts the students' access to books that mention sexual conduct. What if the book said, maybe you should calm down, maybe you shouldn't be, humping the sofa there, whatever, sexual conduct. You're telling a kid what's uh, it's got to stop. These are kids. All right. By the time they're 12, they're already hungry. Boy, I'm looking for this. As I said, I was the filthiest my mind has ever been was when I was 13, except when I was 14, maybe, and then 15. Come on, please. That's the deal. And all you do is by taking it away, and they're not looking in the dictionary, you fucking assholes. Among the 1,600 books removed by the Escambia County District were 5 dictionaries, which contained definitions of the word sex. What, by the time, what 11-year-old doesn't know that in this world? Huh? A district spokesperson said the reference books hadn't been banned. They've been simply been pulled for further review. Why would you pull them? Okay. Well, you can pull them because of the word dick. Okay. That's what you could do because of the word dick. So that's rather remarkable, huh? Simply pulled for further review. A dictionary. The definition is just get a magic marker, you fucking assholes. But this one is extraordinary because I had not read this either. And this is the stuff that should be on the front page of a paper, and it just should say who said that. And we should no longer quote Donald Trump. We just go, who do you think said this? And the who is Donald. Okay, Donald Trump urged supporters to go vote for him in the Iowa caucuses, despite, as you remember, life-threatening cold snap. Because of despite a life-threatening cold snap. Come on. He said, you can't sit at home, Trump said before his record 30-point win. Even if you vote and then pass away, it's worth it. What a guy, huh? Your death is worth it. All of a sudden, your death has meaning because you voted for him. At what point don't you get what's going on? Nobody says that. Nobody but a 9th grader, which is what I now put him in that category. And that's a 9-year-old, but that's even beyond belief. Get out there, vote, and drop dead. Because if you do that, God, your life will have meant so much to have voted in a primary in Iowa. Oh, for God's sake. We are lost, and there are no breadcrumbs to get home right now. And if they are, they're probably flammable, and people are running around the woods throwing matches at them. And that's what I got here. from the bowels of my public access studio. And you can see the work that I've done on it. And I just want to thank you all for hopefully being understanding about uh, my not getting this out as often as I should. It just I tripped into my own health problems, and obviously I had a severe case of COVID. There's the many who wrote in, the all of them, seemingly everyone's a doctor now, and aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky that we have a nation of doctors? So you don't even, as a matter of fact, just put on Twitter what your symptoms are, and I think that's the lesson today. Write out your symptoms, get them out there on Twitter, or show them if there's some sort of a rash. I can guarantee 2,000-3,000 responses, and you will really enjoy the analysis that these young doctors, these old doctors, these would-be doctors have to say to you. Um, and I look forward to seeing you all down the road. I really do. The shows have been, and I can't thank those who've been coming out enough. That they've been really quite wonderful, and I deeply appreciate uh, the response. It's kind of overwhelming, what it is, and I get a little teary, which is not good. Not good for a man my age. It's enough is enough. Um, if you've not seen Sophie's Choice, I saw it this week. I had never seen it. If you're looking for some kind of a movie to cry to, that's a good one. I thought it was quite wonderful. I mean, if you can say that about that type of movie, and Meryl and Peter and Kevin, uh, Meryl Streep, Kevin Kline, Peter McNichol are all magnificent. That's my movie review. It's one of the best ones I saw this year, and because I hadn't seen it before, and it's a little slow at times, probably for some people, but it really he allowed the actors to fill that screen with emotion, and that's all I got to say about that. Um, and I look forward to you writing in. Get it off your chest. Get it out there. We're going to be rolling along with this, and something that may happen is that along the way, I may not be touring, but I may just drop into a theater and do a live Rant is Due, because I certainly have that. I can't do the two shows, but I can certainly do one, and maybe bring some guests. Some folks that you'll enjoy seeing. So that's it. Have a good week. Happy. You'll be getting this on Valentine's Day. So very, very happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to tell you, I hope you had a fun Super Bowl Sunday. Very fun. And that I wish I cared. God, I wish I cared. All I give a shit about is my box right now. I'm not betting. I got boxes. I hope the numbers come up. And I believe they will. That's how psychotic I've become. Just a little bit of time, wandering the country again, and I get crazy. You're the best. Thank you for your time. Thanks for spending it with me. I love spending it with you. Take care. From Kevin McThorne, a possible solution to all of our problems. I'd like to say that if the stupid politicians can't get the economy right, they won't be able to get anything else right either. We need to get all the fucking politicians out of office and replace them with rabid wolverines. At least they will get some shit done. Well, that's an interesting concept. I wonder how you know that the wolverines are so productive, Kevin. If I'm pronouncing that right, it's it's. I mean, I'd love to hear, how these wolverines are able to do that, and can seemingly you believe in them more than our politicians, which I fully understand. I think it would be just great in terms of the watching C-SPAN to see those Wolverines go at each other. If they do go at each other, I don't know. I do know that they're the mascot of my brother's alma mater, the University of Michigan, the national champs this year in football, and maybe they've been working on some experimental work up with the Wolverines, giving them some sort of a brain that they can function off of it, and maybe they're communicating, and maybe they're getting economics degrees. Look, I really don't think, there's a lot of things we can go into why the economy is where it's at. Okay, and if you expect those idiots to figure it out, good luck, Kevin. And replace them with Wolverines. My hat's off to you. An interesting solution. Thank you. Thanks for sending that in. From Charles Hayes. Uh, Not so much a rant, but probably one that would inspire one in me if I knew if it was really true. And I'm not going to search around to find out right now. And if somebody out there or Charles can verify this, spectacular. It certainly isn't beyond what's going on out there. There doesn't seem to be anything beyond the stretch of the boundaries of reality. I found out today that a county in Florida has banned the dictionary due to adult content. Why isn't the Bible also banned for adult content? Because it's like reading a pornographic novel. Well, I've heard that before from folks about the Bible, but if they're banning the dictionary, then we're done. Well, no need to read, no need to write, no need to do nothing. Take that out of the library. Let those kids try to figure out how to spell. Thank you, Charles. Really quite something. A rant from Katie Wood. Bread and circuses. I'm tired of bread and circuses. Articles I've read posit that movie attendance is down because it hasn't sprung back from the epidemic. I'm pretty sure that it's because the pandemic behavior of the idiots in Hollywood illustrated quite clearly how out of touch with the average American they really are, and that most of us don't feel up to getting preached to by a bunch of spoiled, pretty people. More importantly, I'm tired of how our country is going back in time. The education system is fucked. Equality, which has never been that great to begin with, is fucked. And one of the main tenets of our country, separation of church and state, is continually, oh, you hit this on the head, thrown out the damn window. Stacked Supreme Court, anyone? Mostly I'm sad because I wanted to believe the stories they told us, that we were making progress, that the American dream could be true for everyone, that we were getting more tolerant, more accepting, moving away from our historically dark past. But we're not, and we won't, and the bread and circuses aren't able to hide how fucked everything is anymore. I'll take comedy. At least comedians are honest, or we try to be, or we've got no choice. And as it works out, the funniest things are those that are real. And I keep saying it, and it's getting a little too real every single day. Just look at those headlines, Katie. If you back off a little and take a moment to breathe, or you imagine that this is in a fiction, that you're reading a book of fiction when you're looking at the TV and watching what's going on in the world. Just think that, oh, wow, I'm watching a live streaming fictional event because it sure feels like it. And I appreciate you sharing that with us. And wow, I wish there were really good, I wish the bread and circuses worked. There certainly we've got a big one coming up. Yes, we do. Yeah. Oh, that Super Bowl. Woo! And they are paying a lot of money to go to Vegas. Oh, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's really something out there. And they're all prepped for it, boy, that's for sure. From Kayla Linkletter. This could be entitled, The World Gets Stranger and Stranger, and then it's more strange, and then, whoo, wow. My sister's manager, who is female, that's important, wasn't feeling well one day and told the assistant store manager she needed to go home early because she was fighting a UTI. urinary tract infection for the folks at home. A short while later, my sister's male coworker said he wasn't feeling well and believe he caught what the manager had. Yes, he caught her UTI. That's not the best part. The best part is the mail store manager said he understood and said to go home and feel better. Literally, the fuck. Thanks for that, Kayla. That it really and then men are going to decide really how women the women's right to choose. I mean, come on. That's where the line is crossed daily with these idiots. But this is really really special. A UTI, he caught a UTI, had to go home. Wow. 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 Thank you. Richard Abramson is a bit livid about tipping, but I think you'll see why. Everybody's pissed off about tipping today, especially about the server looking over your shoulder while you tap a box with what they think your tip should be. But even worse than the restaurants are the fucking frozen yogurt parlors. At least in the restaurants, the server is doing some work. Well, they're doing a lot of work, actually. They got to deal with you. They got to deal with the chef. I could go on. The stories could go longer and longer and longer, but this is frozen yogurt. I've never gone in for one, so I'm looking forward to this. But in the frozen yogurt places, we do all the work. We get the container. We walk over to the yogurt machine. We try to figure out which goddamn button is for which fucking flavor. We pull it down. We wait as the yogurt dribbles down into the container. Then we go to another machine with another flavor that usually tastes the same as the first one. Then we go and put our own toppings on. Then we walk over to the cashier. We place the yogurt on a scale. The exact price automatically appears, and the fucking cashier does his one job. He announces the total as he's flipping some sort of iPad thing into your face with a series of tips for us to choose from. Oh, yeah. Then we pull out our credit card and we tap it or insert it or swipe it. Then we flip it back. And we are afraid if we don't tip, he won't give us the fucking spoon and napkin he's holding just out of our reach. Sons of bitches. It is kind of strange, isn't it, Richard? I mean, I get a lot of restaurants, especially, but if that's all they're doing is telling you the price of it. They're fighting for their last moment as a job because, I mean, if you go into McDonald's, as I read in that other thing, and you deal with that tower of power they've got, that huge, you got to be kidding me. The thing where you have to deal with that. And that's where probably your yogurt place is heading. You won't have to leave a tip because there'll be nobody there but you. Enjoy it, Richard. All right. It's the price we pay for not tipping. It's the price we pay for freedom. Oh, boy. I wouldn't go to a yogurt place, but I would go to an ice cream place. From Scott Reid, screaming about those, well, you'll hear. I just want to know what the fuck is up with the flat earthers. Why do they care so much about proving the earth is flat? What do they get out of it? If the government or NASA or whoever came out right now and said, yes, it's flat, so what? Life goes on and will continue to go on. The earth being flat wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Maybe the people who manufacture globes might need to dust off their resumes, but that's about it. Do they just want to be able to say they were right? Ooh, do they want to boast about knowing that we're being lied to? Of course we're being lied to. We're being lied to about everything. With all the effort that these flat earthers put into their arguments, not one has been able to tell us geographically where the edge is. Huh? And if there is an edge, well, what's there? Land? Why haven't we traveled there? Maybe it's water. But if it's water, what's stopping it from dripping over the side? How thick is the flat Earth? If it's flat, it has to have a thickness. And what's on the bottom? And what's holding whatever is on the bottom to the Earth? None of this shit makes any sense. When I first started hearing about flat earthers, I thought it was a joke, but these fuckers are serious. And for what? Maybe these people should take the energy they spend on their crackpot theories and focus it on something more positive, like fucking right off. Yep, I can understand why you're just a little pissed, Scott. It's tiresome. I mean, seriously, reality's reality. And I just think some people have to nope, that's it. This is what's reality, guys. Sorry. Too bad. I know you think this, but ball game's over. You don't get to say this anymore. We've got to move on. We cannot be arguing this anymore. And I'm glad you brought it up, Scott. And you made your point. And the Earth is not fucking flat. Okay? Who's ever listening out there and believes that the Earth is flat, see a doctor. Okay? All right? Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.